guys, today we're going to be doing a haul, but it's pretty big. This is probably a collection of books I bought in like end of November, all of December, and then up until like present day. There's a lot, and I don't even think this is all of them because I'm not good at keeping track. So I'm not even sure if this is all of them, but it's a majority of them. If I miss some, I wouldn't be able to tell you which ones I did because I literally can't remember. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm so excited. Okay, first book is one that I've been wanting to read for a while, because I've already read the first book. This is Ready Player 2. I love the first book. It is probably in my top 5 books of 2022. I loved it. If anyone has seen the movie, completely toss out anything that you believe is in the book because it's not. The movie, I think, really dramatized it, and kind of shortened it a lot to fit into the movie format. So a lot of what happens in the first book is not in the movie. And I wholly recommend anyone who has seen the movie and was kind of like, oh, I loved this, this is amazing, go read the book because it's 10 times better. But there's a hair. Yeah, I've been wanting to read this for a while, but I don't know why, I just didn't think there was like a paperback version. And I have a hardback, but it was my dad's, and I didn't steal it from him. He told me I could read it and then told me I could keep it. So, yeah, so I didn't know there was a paperback, so I was just waiting for the paperback or the hardback book to go in paperback, so that I could not pay as much money. But then I found this one over the weekend 2 weeks ago, and so I've been really glad to have it. It does not match my first one, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. I don't really care about all that. The next one is kind of a weird one. About a month or 2 ago, I picked up this children's book that had just came out, and it was like the 9th book. And I was reading about the first book and kind of the world that it was centered around, and I really thought the premise was really cool. I like Chosen One. When it's done correctly, I like it. So it is called Keeper of the Lost Cities, and this is the second book. This is Exile. I really enjoyed the first book. It's fucking massive. Like, it's huge. But I really enjoyed the first book. It's like, kind of like along the lines of like Percy Jackson, Harry Potter, where like this child who like really doesn't know that she's special ends up finding out that she's not crazy, because she can in fact read minds. She's a telepath, and she's like been hiding it from her parents, from her foster parents, for forever. And then one day this guy comes and says, you know, I've been looking for you, and she gets whisked away to this wonderful world. And I really loved the first book, and I'm not really good at explaining it. I really enjoyed it, so I picked up the second book, and I hope to get to it soon. It's it's really big, and well, not really big. Like, I've read books longer, but I didn't, it didn't take me a while to get through the first one, but there's 9 books. So I'm like, I don't know why I started another series when I'm in the middle of so many. But yes, Keeper of the Lost Cities, Exile. It is a children's book, so it is definitely in the children's aisle, but it's fine. You know, we don't hate on children's books. We don't. The next one is one I've been wanting to read for a while, but I've never gotten around to it because it's massive and it's a weirdly shaped book. It's The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. Yeah, it's like weird. Like it's a weirdly shaped book. Like hold on. Like it's like huge. And I don't know why. But it's okay. Have I finished reading The Vampire Academy? No. I'm on the second book. But it's fine. Yeah. I've always walked past it and I always really thought it looked cool. And I liked the selection, and this is basically what the selection is. So I want to get to it. I just don't know when that's gonna happen. But yeah, this is the first book in the Glittering Court like series. I think there's like 3 or 4 out currently. But yes, the next is one I think that just came out like in November. I'm pretty sure it was in November. And I saw it every time I walked in on like the new book section and Books A Million and Barnes & Noble. And I've been I already had it on my list to want to read because I thought it looked cool, but it's The Luminaries by Susan Dennard. Yes. Haven't taken the stickers off because I know I will have to use Goo Gone. Yep, those are stuck on there. So yeah, it is a very pretty book. Like it's very pretty. For anyone who doesn't know, I love the color green. Green and yellow are probably my favorite colors, and especially this like dark forest green. I love it. So I was already, you know, even if I don't read it, it's a pretty book to like display on my shelf. So it's fine. It's not gonna be anything bad if I don't read it. But I want to because it's not a big book at all. Like it's like small. So I'm sure it won't take me very long to read that. The next one is one that I've never seen anything about, but I saw it at Books A Million, I think so. And I thought it sounded cool. But I always have trouble when I pick up books I don't know anything about, because then I don't feel the need to read it, and it's so weird. But it's The Color of Dragons. I thought the cover was cool. But I know that if I don't like read it after the book I'm reading now, I probably will never get to it. But I do like the cover, and I like the synopsis on the back. So I'm pretty sure I will be able to get to read it. But sometimes I pick up books and I don't read it. But then the library gets them. So then I feel better about myself because I'm donating books, you know. Anyway, I got A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I've also been wanting to read this book for a while. I had Carve the Mark for a really long time and I never read it. Even though it was Enemies to Lovers. Like I assumed I would read it, but I just did not get to it, like ever. Like I never even thought about it. But I hear people talk about this book a lot on TikTok and YouTube, and I need to get back into fantasy. Like I miss fantasy so much. I'm pretty sure all but one is like sci-fi or fantasy in this stack. But yeah, the cover is gorgeous. So even if I don't get to it, it's a pretty book to display. I think it's Enemies to Lovers. Maybe. Mooney! Shut up! I think it might be Enemies to Lovers. Or it might be like what's the word? Like forced marriage. Not forced marriage. Arranged marriage, or like marriage of convenience. Or maybe it's like, I don't know. I actually don't really know anything about this book. I know it's a retelling. I'm pretty sure it's a retelling. And it's like, it's not found family, but it's like she never knew anything about magic and then she gets brought into a world. You know what I mean? I think it's along those lines. But yeah, I need to get back into fantasy. I read fantasy like exclusively when I first started reading again back in like fall of 2020. And I need to get back into it because I miss it so much. So for a while, I went on vacation to DC to see some family, and they have a Barnes and Noble in one of the malls in DC. It's 2 stories and it's in the mall. It's amazing. It's wonderful. Every time I go, I have to go to this Barnes and Noble. But sometimes I go in there for like albums, and then other times I go in there for books exclusively. But I found this book, The Girl Who Could Move Shit with Her Mind. And I think this is like, it's not sci-fi, but it's definitely fantasy. And it's also got kind of like a murder mystery going on. But the only reason I picked it up is because there's this thing that says it's like Alias meets X-Men. I loved it. And I love X-Men. If you know me and you're one of my friends, you know that I love X-Men, specifically X-Men First Class. I will not hear any slander about that movie. So when I saw that it said that it was like X-Men, I was like, fuck yeah. So I picked it up. Plus the title speaks for itself. I've never read any books by him, so I hope it's good. The other thing is that I've been loving like traditional Asian book covers. They're so pretty. They're so colorful. Like, I'm addicted to them. So I have been looking at Six Crimson Crayons a lot. Like, I was looking at it almost every time I see it. And yeah, I picked it up. And I'm like, it's the same thing. I'm like, it's a gorgeous book. I mean, look at that. It's gorgeous. But I really want to get into reading more stuff like this. Again, I think it's also like, I'm pretty sure it's fantasy as well. So again, I've been wanting to get back into fantasy, so I thought this was maybe a pretty good crossover between those two kinds of genres. The next is the only romance specific book that's in this haul. I've been wanting to read the cheat sheet for a while, specifically because I love sports romances. I don't know what you want me to say. Specifically if there's college sports romances. I actually am like tempted to make an Amazon haul of specifically just sports romance books and like one fantasy book. Because I am having withdrawals. Like, I finished the Deal series, Briar U and Off Campus, in like a week. And there's 8 books. And I am crazy. But I love sports romances. Like, I have, what's the word? I have an affliction? Is that the right word? I'm sure you could probably use that. But yeah, really excited about it. Again, I'm gonna have to use Google on that fucking sticker. Actually, maybe not. It's Target's sticker that sucks. Those are the ones that sucks. And then last but not least is another traditional Asian, I think, book. Take my words with a grain of salt. But this is Song of Silver Flame Like Night. And come on. This cover. Look at her. She's gorgeous. It's got a fucking dragon on it. I didn't look at the hardback book, but look at that green. Ugh. I'm a sucker for anything dark green. I don't know anything about this book. I saw it because I'm pretty sure it just came out. I'm pretty sure it like literally just came out. But sorry, I was reading the back. What was I saying? Pretty sure it just came out. But it was on like the table next to the young adult that was like new releases or stuff like that. And Yeah, I am not, what's the word? I am a sucker for covers like this. Like, again, if I don't read it, which I probably will because it's, you know, a fantasy book, but it's a gorgeous cover. Like, I wouldn't mind using this as a display, you know? But yeah, plus the text is like really big. So I'm sorry if I just spoiled something. So I don't think it would take very long to read. So I went to the bookstore like, oh God, like multiple months ago to get specifically TikTok popular books, but like popular TikTok books that I would read and not just like donate, you know, unhaul because I haven't read them. Oh. So I also want, like, I have 2 bookshelves there, and then I have one in my room, but that one's not gonna be for books, so just these 2. Um, I need to fix them. Like, they're hideous. Like, and I see people on YouTube who have like these pretty shelves, but I don't have enough books to fill. Like, both of those bottom ones are empty because I have dogs and they would absolutely tear the books up if I did that. But I have ones on that shelf and this shelf and then going all the way up. But it like isn't pretty and like I want it to be pretty. But anyway. So I was going to film this, like a haul for this, and then I had finals and it didn't work. So I'm gonna show them now. So first we have Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Now I also heard that you should probably read Kiss of Deception first. But that was before I got this book. So, and my mom has that book, so I might just read that one. But I've been wanting to read this one for a while because I heard that it was enemies to lovers. And if you know me, you know I love enemies to lovers. I'm a sucker for it. I cannot and will not ever stop reading enemies to lovers because it is probably the funnest trope, especially when it's like brutal enemies to lovers. Like, they're like actively trying to kill each other, you know? So yeah, I heard this was enemies to lovers and I was like immediately sold. So I also heard Haley Pham talking about this book and saying that she loved this duology, and so I'm like, well, now I have to read it. Next is one, again, this whole stack are books that I've been wanting to read for a while, ever since I started reading. I was just too scared because they're TikTok famous books and I just assumed they would go over my head. But we have Caraval by Stephanie Garber. It's a beautiful book, first off. It's like sparkly and stuff. Like, it's gorgeous. But again, I was too scared to read it because I just didn't want to. I feel weird like DNFing people's favorite books. So I just stay away. I feel weird reading people's favorite books, so I usually just stay away from them. But I thought we're trying to venture out in terms of like different books I read. And I've always had an inkling to read these really popular TikTok books. So you probably already saw that one. It's fine. I don't care. It's gross. Anyone who's probably watching this video is like, you mean you haven't read this book? No, I haven't. It's the same problem. I don't want to read a book and then realize I hate it. So, yeah, I didn't want to read this book knowing how many people like it and then hate it, so I just never read it. But considering I've seen about 90-10, 80-20 per like of loving it and absolutely hating it, I thought, why not? I mean, what else can I lose? This one is not a popular TikTok book. I've never seen this one on TikTok. But it looked cool. And the guy who was there, like, said, oh yeah, this book is good. This is The Grimrose Girls, by Laura Pohl. Why did I make that face? That's yeah, it looks cool. I don't really know what to say about it. It's a murder mystery. And I think there might be a little bit of fantasy in it. Yeah. They soon learn that all past murders are connected in an ancient fairy tale curses. Yeah. So there's a little bit of murder mystery fantasy going on, which I thought that's cool. So I'll take a look at that. Yeah, I've not seen that one on TikTok, but I think we're still doing a book haul, so it doesn't matter. Next one is Scythe. I have seen not as many people talk about this book, but I definitely have seen it on TikTok. I don't know anything about it. All I know is that people really like it. But I know it's part of a series. I know this is the first book in the series, so I'm not gonna start it yet because, again, I've already started multiple series, but I do wish to start it at some point. I say that, and all of the books I've just showed you are part of series, except for the Grimrose Girls. I don't know if that's part of a series, but the rest of them are definitely parts of series. Sometimes you practice what you preach, sometimes you don't. I am not one of those people. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. I'm excited about all of these books, really. I love fantasy, but sometimes it's like, it's not repetitive, but you can fall out of it really easily, and I definitely have. And I definitely want to get back into it. But yeah, that's it for our little, or no, not little. This was not little at all. I have a spending problem. I have a book spending problem. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm sorry for not making as many videos. I'm trying to stay consistent, but school is starting very soon. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video.